News at 7. Governor was promised of person. PDP suspends chairman over anti-party activities. Federal government holds accreditation of degree certificates from Benin Republic and Togo. And from the foreign scene, death toll from Japan earthquake rises to 55.
Thank you very much for joining us on the news tonight on Osrc television. I am Oyumi Ayini Gara. Governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has rejoiced for the people of the state, especially public servants, for witnessing the New Year 2024 at the annual prayer meeting marking the first workday held at the governor's office in Akure. Aiyedatiwa, who appealed to people of the state to take solace in legacies of his late former boss, restated his passion for a better Ondo State with a promise to sustain the efforts at promoting the economic prosperity of the people. The governor, who charged workers in the state to ensure accountability and transparency in financial transactions, reaffirmed his commitment to safeguarding the lives and property. Government House correspondent Wahaba Akole reports that the governor appreciated labor unions in the state for the current industrial harmony.
Annual the opportunities, local members of the lawmakers, religious leaders, and in the state. The moment for its over the state and its people. In his address of welcome, the administration for promoting work, charge work politics. Yes, this year.
Also, the effect of the fuel subsidy removal, the state government has started the payment of 35,000 naira wage award to workers. The month of December came in at the nick of 31st of December.
The only by Governor Aiyedatiwa from 1 office.
May his soul rest in peace.
Come to God. Roof for the rock saved with the
attitude I did you not to humans. There are met in life, and those who
people of your don't consider people. Take your heart space.
no lucky either are rejoicing in New Year to people of the state to take solace in the legacies of his late prayer behind.
Please continue of the Lord. Prosperous of our life, particularly
our quest as an to and dig service with vision better to make people would be irresponsible and liaison. Here with eventful giving just but some support is facing.
Relationship.
The governor, state, and transport dealing and to why improve people in of
Commended professionally as welfare.
Ahead with already recruitment as a would be disease crisis. I also want to agree that the fraction of the outstanding salary left will be cleared soon. Sooner than you expected.
Aiyedatiwa, who noted that it is a common knowledge that 2024 is an election year in the state, stressed the need for residents to be law-abiding while exercising their franchise. He appreciated the efforts of all security agencies in the state for their sustained commitment to make the state more secured for its people. Chairman of Nigeria Labour Congress, Victor Amoko, appreciated the governor for his genuine commitment to promote the welfare of workers and assured him of their continued cooperation. Special prayers were offered for Nigeria, Ondo State, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa's administration and family, as well as for the workers of the state. Wahab, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, as the echoes of New Year celebrations gave way, workers across various sectors have resumed duties in commencement of their tasks. Labour union leaders and government workers expressed optimism while advocating improved working conditions and welfare for workers in the year ahead. Osrc's Zaid Arabisala has more.
The first official work day in the year 2024 is here, and workers exchange warm greetings with one another, basking in the euphoria of a fresh start. The resumption to duties follows the twin holidays for Christmas and New Year, a period marked with festivities. In the public sector, across ministries, departments and agencies of government in Ondo State, the task of delivering services for the betterment of the people takes off. Same in most private organizations who received their staff back in office.
We are very happy to resume to start the 2024 first working day, and we are grateful and we are fully prepared for the job.
We have to be accountable in everything that we do. That in the course of discharging our responsibility, we should take the duty of the government and imparting the populace of Ondo State. We are the bureaucrats. We are the ones to implement most of the policy of the government. And so the civil servant of this year, we are fully prepared to carry out the policy of the state government.
Some workers express determination to entrench innovations and consistency in various tasks in the new year.
I must say that it's a new year, and there are much opportunities to take by, and I want to say that I'm very well prepared. There are a lot of challenges for the new year, but of course with the determination of heart and the preparedness, definitely work will be done.
Vice President, Nigerian Labour Congress, Sunday Adeleye, who tasked workers to act diligently in the new year, said labour unions will not relent in advancing the cause to better the welfare of workers from government.
We should buckle up. It's going to be a challenging year because some of us are still battling and are still surprised about this wave of subsidy without a cushion effect. I must confess to you, even the federal government that started this 35,000, I've only paid one since September. They've not paid in the last 3 months. So that tells you what you'll be expecting. And more so, it's going to be a year of battle on this issue of minimum wage. Because if you are looking at minimum wage, there are a lot of indices and data that will be used, like the price of petroleum, like what I would call a living cost. To me now, I'm not preempting anybody. Any minimum wage less than 200,000 will not take anybody home. And that's the truth.
Chairman, Nigerian Labour Congress, Ondo State Chapter, Victor Amoko, and the State President, Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, Bola Taiwo, who appreciated Ondo State government for its efforts towards workers, said the new year is another opportunity to cement ties of collaboration and partnership for the overall development of the state.
We appeal to him to be ready to allow us to consult with him, to allow us to collaborate with him so that we both move Ondo State forward. And we, to the workers, to whom much is given, much is accepted. We expect all of everybody to do their job diligently, and God will guide us. Then any information, they should let us know, because we are the bridge between them and the government.
Advise the workers of Ondo State to be cooperative. They should prefer, because the government has done much for us in terms of promotion, payment of salary, conversion, every other thing. What is given, much is expected. Government is expecting much, and we believe the government should come to work regularly and perform our duty very, very well.
If these words of commitment are put into actions fully and the advice given yielded, the effect will no doubt engender more development, as any nation's workforce is a key driver of its economy. Sahid Aribisala, OSRC News.
In the meantime, the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, says the federal government has not demonstrated sufficient commitment towards complying with its agreements with union members. NLC lamented that the 35,000 naira wage award has not been faithfully implemented, just as the Port Harcourt refinery has not come on stream as projected, adding that the National Minimum Wage Negotiation Council has not been inaugurated as agreed. NLC President Joe Ajero said the compressed natural gas scheme has been distorted by agents of government for the benefit of a few. He urged the federal government to show more compassion in its dealings with Nigerians and workers, especially in the face of the excruciating poverty which its policies have foisted on hapless Nigerians. He described 2023 as a turbulent year both for workers and the Nigerian people, as the negative economic policies of the government begin to bite harder on poor Nigerians as predicted. Residents of Accra, Ondo State capital, have shared their visions for the new year and expectations from the federal government. According to them, it will do the country a lot of good if government provides basic requirements for Nigerians to break even in the new year. Omoriola Ongiji sampled opinions of the people and now reports.
At the turn of every year, people come up with resolutions after reflecting on their activities over the past year to set another goal for the year. Sampling those of residents of Akure, many said they want to pay more attention to the service to God and humanity in the year 2024.
My resolution for the year 2024 is number one, to increase my faith, to develop more in my faith, in my services to God, and for me to be more increased and enlarged in all spheres.
More closer to God, to serve God diligently, because I know with God everything is possible.
To these ones, their family would top their plans for the new year.
I plan for my life in this year that what I need this year, that this year is my new thing, new year. So I plan to grow up with my families.
I want to face my studies. I'll make sure I make new friends, and make sure I do well in my exams and tests.
They called on government to prioritize the nation's economy this year for the benefit of all and sundry.
We must have a determined philosophy towards development and growth. We don't have. It appears we just do things haphazardly. You just do this one a bit, you jump to this one a bit, you jump to that one a bit. Then we run so much on palliatives. It's a sign of poverty. So we must deliberately determine the philosophy of development for our economy. It takes a kind of sacrifice. It takes a kind of, orientating the people what governance is all about, so that it makes it easier for government to govern the people.
At the federal level, I expect them to put mechanism in place that will force petroleum prices to go down. The high cost of fuel is affecting everything and is eating deep to whatever money anyone has, except those who are super rich. At the state level, I'm hoping that the new governor, Ayedatiwa, would put in place measures to complete all ongoing projects. We do not want to see any abandoned projects in this area. If he's able to do this, then we can only wish him the very best of luck.
Government should also try as much as possible to provide the basic three things that is needed for the masses, and all the promises they made when they were about to get to the post, they should review them and go over it, at least provide it for the masses.
Some men of God, while calling on governments to do more in protecting lives and property, called for more prayers for Nigeria as a country against all odds.
We need a lot of prayers. What I can say, as a prophet of God, we still need a lot of prayers. We still need to seek the face of the Lord more and more, even than before.
They should listen to the yearning of the masses. In whatever policy the government wants, they should look at how people feel and what people want.
The expectations of Nigerians are high on the present administration to provide the amenities needed, like good road network, stable power, good security, and stable economy, as many look forward to breakthrough 2024. Omoriola Humbiji, Osrc News.
And the Committee on Implementation of End-of-Year Transportation Subsidy Program of President Bola Tinubu says over 163,000 passengers so far benefited from the program in the first 10 days of its implementation. Chairman of the Committee and Minister of Solid Mineral Resources, Dele Alake, in a progress report enthused that the scheme had been a huge success, emphasizing that the transportation rebate was a demonstration of the level of love the President had for parents. He appealed for cooperation from passengers and the bus company to manage the return of passengers from their respective locations back to their bases till Thursday, as the program was still ongoing. You're still watching Osrc News at 7 after the break. Federal government also accreditation of degree certificates from Benin Republic and Togo. Please, do join us then. Thank you so much for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and you can also subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa says his late boss, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, until his death, never planned to impeach him as his deputy. Aidatua played host to a delegation of former members of the 7th, 8th, and 9th sessions of Ondo State House of Assembly in Akure, said the state and the nation has lost a true democrat. Comment House correspondent Wahab Akoli completes the story.
Seated here at the Cocoa Conference Hall of the Governor's Office in Akure is a delegation of former members of the State House of Assembly, drawn from the 7th, 8th, and 9th sessions, led by previous speakers, Jumoke Akindele Ajulo and Bamidele Oleyelogun. The former lawmakers condoled with Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa and people of Ondo State following the passing of former Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. Speaking on behalf of the people, former Speaker of the 7th and 8th Assembly, Jumoke Akindele Ajulo, described late Akeredolu, a man who was passionate about the well-being of the people.
As a matter of fact, it was still one of those people that built policies like Amoteco. Today we are all proud of what we have as Amoteco. They have stood between us and others who gave us a tough time at the time. Your Excellency, we are quite shocked at his passing, and we know that if we were watching from this and we are shocked, that you would have been no less shocked. You would have been more shocked because he was your brother, he was your friend.
Akindele Ajulo also congratulated Aiyedatiwa on his elevation as governor. Aiyedatiwa, who appreciated the former lawmakers for the visit, said the state and the country has lost a rare gem.
We have very good relations, even to death. Forget about all that happened. About political crisis. That has not affected that relationship in any way. I tell you, with all sincerity, that I truly did not plan to impeach you.
Yes.
I can simply also say that he knows that I was going to succeed, but not the way the record from set is constructed. Some people went to imagine that I did it. So it is one something, that's something. But it's no more today. I want to thank you for it. It's a great loss for me. It's like a paradox.
The governor assured that his late boss will be celebrated and his legacies sustained. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
The state's working committee of People's Democratic Party in Ondo State has announced the suspension of the state chairman, Mr. Fatai Adams. The party alleged that the embattled chairman was involved in some anti-party activities which are against the rules and regulations of the party and likely to bring the party to disrepute. This was contained in a statement signed by 9 members of the committee. Mr. Adams has also been advised to appear before the state's disciplinary committee on the party for further integration within the next 1 week. The party said it would deal decisively with any incursion by the ruling party, All Progressives Congress, into its ranks. The federal government has announced the suspension of accreditation of degree certificates from Benin Republic and Togo. According to the Director of Press and Public Relations, Federal Ministry of Education, Augustina Ibiloro-Duru, the government lamented that some Nigerians employ nefarious means and unconscionable methods to get a degree with the end objective of getting graduate job opportunities for which they are not qualified. According to the government, the suspension persists pending the outcome of an investigation involving the Ministries of Foreign Affairs and Education of Nigeria and the 2 countries, as well as the Departments of State Security Services and the National Youth Service Corps, following the report that a journalist backed Cotonou University degree in 6 weeks. The ministry called on the general public to support its efforts to show understanding and provide useful information that will assist the community in finding lasting solutions in order to prevent further occurrence. President Bola Tinubu has suspended Halima Shehu, the National Coordinator and CEO of National Social Investment Program Agency, NSIPA, over allegations of financial misconduct. This development comes just 3 months after Shew's confirmation for the position by the Senate. National Empower Program Manager Akindele Egbuna was being appointed in an acting capacity to lead the agency while investigations into the matter are underway. Ms. Shew worked as the national coordinator of the Conditional Cash Transfer Program, where she used her banking and career expertise to see to the digitalization of the program. And now we move to the foreign. The powerful earthquake that struck central Japan, destroying buildings and knocking out power to tens of thousands of homes, as well as prompting residents in some coastal areas to flee to higher ground, killing, as claimed, the lives of no fewer than 55 persons. The quake, with a preliminary magnitude of 7.6, triggered waves of about 1 meter along Japan's west coast and neighboring South Korea, with authorities saying larger waves could follow. The Japan Meteorological Agency had issued tsunami warnings, the first since the March 2011 disaster that struck northeastern Japan. Aketunde Akeshimola has more.
A powerful earthquake hit central Japan on New Year's Day. Residents rushed to evacuate from coastal areas as the quake, according to public broadcaster HNK, triggered waves of more than 1 meter along parts of the Sea of Japan. It also destroyed buildings, knocked out power to thousands of homes, and disrupted flights in the region. Following the quake, which had a preliminary magnitude of 7.6, the Japan Meteorological Agency issued tsunami warnings for the coastal prefectures of Ishikawa, Niigata, and Toyama. The major tsunami warning was the first since 2011. Russia also issued tsunami warnings in its far eastern city of Vladivostok and Nakoda. Tourist Baldwin Chia experienced the quake from Japan's Alps.
So the whole room was shaking, the TV was shaking. I had to keep everything on the table. I did felt safe in my room though, but everything else was shaking.
Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said authorities are assessing the extent of any damage and residents need to prepare for more potential tremors. A Japanese utility provider said more than 36,000 households had lost power in Ishikawa and Toyama prefectures. Akintunde Akinshima for Osrc News.
And that report from the foreign scene concludes the news tonight. But before we go, a quick look at the top stories. We told you that Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has promised to address some of the issues in the health sector, saying his administration would recruit more health workers in the new year. Aiyedatiwa made the promise while addressing Ondo State workers at the annual prayer organized by the civil servants to mark the first official work day of 2024. Chairman of the opposition People's Democratic Party in Ondo State, Fatai Adams, has been suspended by members of the State Working Committee of the party for anti-party activities. The federal government has announced the suspension of accreditation of degree certificates from neighboring Benin Republic and Togo. The suspension followed an investigative report by an online newspaper which unraveled a Cotonou-based university issuance of a degree certificate to an undercover journalist in 6 weeks. And from the foreign scene, we told you that there's a report that a powerful earthquake that hit Japan on New Year's Day has killed at least 55 people. Rescue teams struggling in freezing temperatures to reach coastal areas where many are feared trapped under possibly thousands of destroyed homes. And that's the news tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Good evening.